Hello? Bro, I'm at work. What do you mean love is blind? I told you I don't do YouTube anymore. I'm an art dealer. There's no money in YouTube. Listen, do you want the piece or not? I sent you the photo. That's proof of Mickey Mouse infidelity. Those ain't Minnie Mouse lips. Don't worry about how I know that. All right, welcome to Tait's Take. If you're new here, today we're breaking down the first 6 episodes of season 7 of Love is Blind. And I'm gonna be talking about them like you've seen them too. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. From our regular Taste Takers, let's see just how cringe an art dealer can really be.
We're on Love is Blind. To love we may find. At the altar we'll decide. And if we like the same girl, back off, she's mine.
Boom, episode 1. This one's called No More Situationships. Season 7 is underway and we're already getting everything we asked for. Older cast members residing from all over the DMV, and we barely hear or see Nick and Vanessa Lachey. Life like this sure is sweet. This one starts off in the men's quarters with these dudes singing Ain't No Mountain High for a reason I can't explain. It was like Coach Carter up in there. And since I already made my cast breakdown video, I don't gotta go person by person breaking it all down. I'm just gonna talk about some of the things that caught my eye when the pods opened up. Starting with Marissa. Says here she's a law clerk, but I could have sworn I said in my video. Okay, next up we have Marissa. She's 32 and she's a lawyer. She says, I'm very much to the point. I would never lie to you. Word? A lawyer that would never lie? Which one is it, Marissa? Are you a lawyer or are you a law clerk? This girl already lying. Well, yes, technically, a law clerk could be a lawyer, but it's still sneaky. Anyway, like I said, this episode is called No More Situationships, and Nick Lachey's on TV telling the whole world that he's never heard of that word. And you see why nobody likes you? Then we find out that Hannah quit her job to come on the show. Hannah is the one that did the medical device sales, and low-key it's not that big of a deal because she is the youngest on the whole season, but you're still too old to be on your mom's insurance. Like, I think I'm too responsible for the show. That's all that is. Okay, now the pods are officially open. There's a couple of notes that I took. Apparently, Yenny hates lettuce. I love that for you, girl. We got Tyler and Ashley A already hitting it off, and obviously we'll be right back with them. Nick, Dorka, and Katie are hanging out. We see that his sock game is terrible. We also find out that he was a kicker / punter in the XFL and the CFL, and as expected, Katie does work in sports, and she works for the Baltimore Ravens. Nick D also spends some time with Hannah, and Hannah also spends time with Leo talking about art and Europe. We quickly find out that Brittany might be kind of dumb. She says that she usually dates athletes and rock stars. In her words, she says, I'm obviously a trophy wife, so yeah. Going on a date with Garrett, the fucking quantum physicist, this dude is like immediately no. What we're not gonna do. But what we are gonna do is see Garrett go on a date with Taylor, who's a very nice girl, and she hoops. Both of these nerds got science tattoos. We gonna keep our eyes on this one. Over to Tim telling the story of that stupid ass yellow shirt. In the pods, he starts hitting it off with Alex, and almost immediately that thing gets so heavy. Every one of their pod dates is therapy. We find out that both of Alex's parents had MS. I don't know how to say the full word. She explains that her dad had to be taken care of by her mom, and her mom was doing all the things. And she says her dad is this big dude. He's like 6 something, how many ever 100 pounds, taking care of this dude, right? So now, when the tables are turned, when her mom's MS starts to get a little worse, this dude drops it like a bad habit. So you're telling me you was willing to take the help, but as soon as the woman that you made vows to have and to hold in sickness and in health, did they not say that part at your wedding? Then we find out that both of his older sisters died. This is their first date. Like, it's not funny, but Good grief, Charlie Brown. Over to Tyler and Ashley A in the pod, and they're talking about sharing passwords to their phones, and I guess they're both cool with it. My question for you guys in the audience, are you guys cool with it? Okay, then I'm not going to talk about this next Garrett and Taylor date too much, but there was one part where I guess she was like, oh, what movie do I remind you of? And this moron was like, Shrek 2. Anyway, I got to give Taylor props because she was like, I have layers. Like, onions have layers, which is like a deep Shrek cut. Like, this girl's good. She already the realest one on here. So far. Then we're with Brittany and Leo on a pod date, and she's talking about her high pain tolerance. This girl says that every time she's going through something hard, she thinks about her mom dying. In her words, if she can go through that, then I can go through this. But it killed her. She didn't go through it. Anyway, then Leo tells Brittany, look, I don't know how to put this, but let's just say I grew up very well off. Brittany's like, go on. She asks him, okay, well, how do you feel about splitting the finances? Leo's like, well, yeah, I don't think I should be paying all of it, but if I'm making more, then I should be paying the majority of the bills. Brittany's like, oh, okay, good. Because some of these other broke boys are talking about splitting everything 50-50. And I don't know if you know this, but women just shop a lot more. Clothes are expensive. We got grooming, hair, nails. I got my workout classes. Also, I must let you know that my last relationship took care of me 100%. Brittany, I must then ask you, why don't you just call that guy? And then Leo wants us to believe that he wants someone that just doesn't want him for his money. Are you hearing this conversation, sir? Brittany tells him, oh, have no fear, babe. If I just wanted to get married for the money, I could have done that a long time ago. Could you though? Leo, who again doesn't want someone that just wants him for his money, proceeds to talk about just how much money he has. He's like, well, I inherited a large sum of money. She's like, okay, cool. No, you don't understand. I was supposed to take over the company business way later down in life, but my family fell on some hardships. Then he proceeds to tell us how literally everyone he's ever known and loved got cancer and died. Yeah, my mom got cancer and died. My dad got cancer and died. My step-parents got cancer and died. My grandpa got cancer and died. My grandma got cancer and died. My next-door neighbor got cancer and died. The lady that bags our groceries got cancer and died. The mailman got cancer and died. So then I got the company, and now I'm rich. Honestly, this is serious. The fact that this dude wants us to believe that he wants people to like him for him and not his money is so crazy. The way that he drags the money conversation into the men's quarters, which also might low-key be the oh my golly wally moment of the episode. This dude is telling these guys at the table like, look guys, I'm not here to build some influencer career. I'm a rich fucking art dealer. Did you guys know that I went to country clubs as a kid? These dudes are looking at him like, literally, shut the fuck up. The fact that he's in between Hannah and Brittany is the dumbest thing in the whole world, but is the thing in the whole world that makes the most sense. Like, look at these two idiots. Can I remind you that Taylor is basically a scientist? Look at her face when she has to listen to this.
Dude, look at these. I can see myself, like, explaining something about art to Hannah and be like, oh, no way. I'm starting to feel some connection.
Oh, it's dripping, but it gets cold, so it, like, stops.
And
anyway, then Leo goes on another date with Hannah. He's like, hey, I want to let you know I had a dream about you. She's like, what did I look like? He's like, well, you're white, right? She's like, yeah. He's like, you know what I love about you? I love that when I told you I was an art dealer, you weren't pressed about the money. She was like, brother, let me tell you right now, if I'm being honest, I don't even know what the fuck that is. He tells her we might be twin flames. Does he even know what that implies? Did he not watch the documentary about the twin flames on HBO Max? Did y'all not watch the documentary about the twin flames on HBO Max? Okay, this next scene is so dumb, but I think I might get demonetized if I don't address it. This is when Hannah's in the women's quarters and she's telling the girls, hey girls, did you guys know that the reason why I don't sleep naked is because I think that a snake or insect is gonna climb up my pussy? This is journalism. Anyway, these girls are looking at her like, no, Hannah, how would we know that? Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Marissa laughs in her face when she tells her that Nick D's the love of her life. The same Nick D who told her that some people say he looks like Henry Cavill, Superman. Then they ask each other, what are we gonna do if we're so hot but our kids come out ugly? They say, oh no, we're gonna love them just the same. But we are gonna ask them what the fuck happened. What? Okay, back to a couple that makes sense. We're with Garrett and Taylor on their chess date. She's still excellent. Already got my man Garrett's toes curling up. Okay, get serious. She tells him, I can't tell you my mother's first name, because then you're going to know my ethnicity. Also, I regret to inform you that if when you were watching this scene, you tried to guess her mom's first name, that does indeed make you racist. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. Just kidding. Anyway, Garrett tells her that he's only ever dated white girls. And this whole thing with the mom name is kind of throwing him off a little bit. He tells her, this just all feels like you're a little too calculated. Garrett, I'm going to tell you this one time only. Do not fumble this. Over to Tyler and Ashley A, we find out that they both cook for their respective groups. She tells him that she's never dated a guy that cooks, which is actually crazy, poor thing. Then she asks him like, hey, do you have any random talents? I don't. Which, caught me slipping, because, girl, neither do I. He tells her, yeah, actually I do. I used to ride horses professionally. What? What do you mean professionally? Then they talk about wanting to skydive when they get married. And let me just say, skydiving on your wedding day is so crazy. If y'all end up like Hillary and Trevor from the Fresh Prince up in this, we also find out that Tyler's mom is Serbian and her dad disowned her when he found out that she was smashing a black guy. You hate to see it. But then this is also a heavy moment because then he tells her like, look, I don't think I was just like the best son to my mom. My mom did everything she could for me and my people. I remember when my grandma died, which was her mom, and I know she needed me to console her, and I didn't know how, which is a real moment. I mean, he is a kid, but he's still feeling bad about it, and that was indeed heavy. Back to the men's quarters, and I think it was David who was telling Leo, like, yeah, Brittany's gonna be expensive. And this dude, Leo's like, well, I have money. And you can kind of see that no one told Tyler that Leo is rich, because he's looking around like, what does that mean? This episode comes to a close with the Hannah and Nick D saga. Essentially, she just thinks he's way too smooth and he's just saying all the right things, but he don't really mean it. She says, I think you like me because you think I'm hot. And I'm afraid she may have ate with that one. He's adamant that he doesn't care what she looks like, but I'm afraid to say he's lying. Then I couldn't believe my eyes. She actually ended things with him. This is actually crazy. Someone gave her advice in the women's quarters and she took it. Life-changing. Now we're back in the women's quarters and all the girls are consoling Hannah. They're like, no, it's okay. You did the right thing. Now who's your number one? All of a sudden, Brittany comes busting through the women's quarters like Waldo, Geraldo, Faldo. And she's like, oh my God, I got a piece so bad. I just told Leo that. Freaking Hannah's like, yeah, Leo's my number one. Boom, episode 2. This one's called Perfect Husband Butt. And this is called Perfect Husband Butt because that's what they play in the beginning of the episode. You know those games when they're like, he's a 10, but he doesn't wear shoes. He's a 10, but he lives with his mom. He's a 10, but he has a YouTube channel. Anyway, in episode 2, here's where we get to explore some other connections, starting with Steven and Monica. They're on their pod day and he tells her he's all about communication. Out of the blue, he's like, okay, fuck it, let's talk about cheating. She's like, whoa. This girl Monica starts taking notes like Kermit the Frog. He's like, yes, I was in a relationship and I slid in a girl's DMs. And I know it's emotional cheating. I went through therapy for it. She's like, thanks. I appreciate your candor. Looks like he's already fallen for this girl because I think he said that he's in love and that he wants to take her on a date, which I don't blame him because Monica is excellent. Then unfortunately, we have another pod date between Brittany and Leo. She's telling him about all the drama in the women's quarters. He tells her, and you let me know if this is a backhanded compliment. He tells her, you know, I think because of your voice and the things you say, people might think you're dumb, but you're actually smart. She's like, yes, that's exactly right. She just wants to know where she stands in his eyes. For whatever reason, she likes this guy. She's actually crazy. He tells her, and I quote, you guys are both my number one. Can someone get the fucking quantum physicist in here to check the math on that? This dude is going into a full-on crash out because he can't explain who he likes more. He's like, I'm in here holding this pillow, wishing it was you. If that doesn't show you that I'm in love with you, what will? He asks her, can you see yourself married to me? She's like, yeah. He's like, my hands are covering my face. Then for some reason, we go back to Hannah and Nick D. Remember when literally 5 minutes ago, I said she ended it with him? Like, bruh, there's 29 people on this season. can you guys show somebody else? She admits that people told her to break things off with him, but now they're not broken up anymore. Garrett and Taylor, who I will fondly be calling G and T, they go on another date and they exchange gifts. She got him an avocado tree. She says, who doesn't love avocados? Whoops. Anyway, he got her some honey. It's nice. She's going to use that in her spicy marks. She tells him, look, that avocado tree is a metaphor. In about 5 to 7 years, that thing's going to start popping out some avocados. And that's exactly how long I want to wait to have kids. He wants her to compromise on that timeline. And I don't know who has to tell him this, but he's not going to be the one popping those things out. So I don't know why I can tell you their partner. Okay, another new couple. We got Bowden and Marissa. Bowden is from the Ukraine. They both read fantasy novels and they both were in the military. This is when we hear that extremely disturbing story of that camel attack. Please tell me whose bingo card had camel attack story on it for this season. Did yours have that? No, because getting killed by a camel is so crazy. You cannot go to heaven with that story. Because if it was me and I got killed by a camel and I'm up in heaven, I'll tell them that I was battling 10 ISIS soldiers. And I was fucking them all up. And I had them right where I wanted them. But they sent 10 more soldiers and they took me out. And that's how I got here. Then God would send me to hell for lying about it. And then on the way down, I could hear them laughing when he shows the actual footage of me getting killed by that camel. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. He tells her that he went back to Ukraine when that war started and how he was so overwhelmed with emotion with the support that he got. So he gets very emotional right here. Back at the men's quarters, Bowden and Ramses are talking about love triangles. These guys are boys. They're like, I'm pretty sure someone's going to be up in a love triangle. It's going to be so crazy. Like if two guys are fighting over the same girl and like she has to choose one. Okay, Netflix editing. I see what you're doing there. Because the next pod date we go on is with Ramses and Marissa. Okay, it's cute. Thank you. Yes. We find out that he was married for 4.5 years. He grew up very religious. Then, when he started moving away from Christianity, he realized the marriage just couldn't work. She tells him that her parents got divorced when she was young, and her dad just left, like did not help with any of the 4 kids. She likes his opinion on gender roles and is kind of into the fact that he doesn't have the toxic masculinity that sometimes she finds herself drawn to. Then maybe this is the oh my golly wally moment of the episode, because she tells him that she dated a conservative Trump supporter for 3 years. And look, am I going to judge you for who you vote for? Yes. But it is your personal opinion. That could be dumb. It's just a little crazy that, and I'm just assuming here for a second, let's say Marissa is not a Trump supporter. You not being a Trump supporter and dating one for 3 years is just as crazy as being a Trump supporter. And I guess it's kind of irresponsible of me to say that it's crazy to support a particular political candidate. Unless it's Trump. Back to Garrett, the smooth operator, and sent over some sunflowers to Taylor with the will you be my girlfriend? Check yes, check no, check maybe box. A true quantum physics king. Back with Tim and Alex on a pod date, he tells her he joined the band at Norfolk and he ain't like it. Then he joined the Navy and he ain't like it. Then Alex tells him about her grandfather and she's like, are you familiar with the Nation of Islam? He's like, yes. Yes, well, my grandfather was the national secretary. He actually met Muhammad Ali. And that's pretty cool. But it wouldn't be a Tim and Alex date if it didn't get heavy. He tells her that one of his sisters died from lupus and that he carries her class ring along with his other sister's class ring on his necklace everywhere he goes. Oh, you thought that was the heavy part? This man, Tim, tells Alex, and now that I met you, I get to give my parents another daughter. I'm sorry, what? And we need to take an emotional break. But we can't even do that because we're over in the pods with Garrett and Taylor, and she's reading her freaking grandparents' love letters. Garrett gives some long-ass speech, but at the end of it, he proposes. We got our first one, y'all. Of course she says yes. Then we're over to Monica and Steven in another pod date. She asks him, hey, did you vote in the last elections? He's like, well, yes, I did. He's like, okay, look, my dad's a Republican, and he always votes Republican. In 2016, I did not like Hillary, so I voted for Donald Trump. You didn't like Hillary? Not liking Hillary and then voting for Donald Trump is a choice. But he tells her he hated what he saw Donald Trump doing in office. So in 2020, he voted for Joe Biden. We love a good course correction. And In his defense, he said in 2016, I wasn't educated about the candidates. I didn't put that much into it. I was really haphazard about the whole process. In 2020, I took it a lot more serious. And Stephen, I gotta respect you for the candor, for the transparency. You didn't have to do that, so you get some points. Then we get into the fun part. He tells her, well, look, I identify as white. And my whole life growing up, I thought we were part Italian. Then my dad pulled up on Ancestry.com and shit got real. Turns out we're only 0.3% Italian. The majority of us is West African. Yeah, he says his dad is 3/5 black, which 3/5? He tells her that ever since he found out that he was this much black, he's been looking into all sorts of education around African culture, which I gotta respect. And as soon as he said he got a little black in him, I couldn't unsee it. This dude's been eligible for cookouts for centuries. Monica tells him that her mom's from Honduras and her dad's black, but he got a little Cherokee. Okay. He says that her dad's black, but he's got a little Cherokee in him. And I can't prove this, but I'm 100% sure that he doesn't. The next part is so crazy, but apparently I guess it wasn't crazy. Steven tells her, damn girl, you really are a mutt. I'm sorry, isn't a mutt a dog? Like when a dog is mixed up, like with a lot of different other dogs? And I'm like, oh, Steven, you were doing so well. This black queen is gonna leave your ass. She's like, nah, you're right, I am a mutt. Listen, I can't get mad for the girl. People really just be saying stuff. Over to another Tyler and Ashley A pod date these people don't miss. They're about to eat, he says a nice prayer, and they're doing one of those headphone dates where you just listen to the same song. I never heard the song that was playing, so I Shazammed it. It was like literally 3 people that Shazammed this thing ever. Is this his mixtape? Then we're about to get our first reveal of the season. Garrett and Taylor. And of course they freaking cliffhanger us. Boom, episode 3. This one's called, Is It Too Late? Back at the reveal, and it's smooth as fuck. And mostly because she's smooth as fuck. She likes what she sees, he likes what he sees. Then of course they sit down and she reveals that her mom's first name is Fong and she's from Hong Kong. She's like, did you guess my ethnicity? He's like, girl, no. Then they do the height thing and he's like, how tall are you? She's like, 5'9". And she's like, how tall are you? And he's like, 6 feet. Apparently women say that no one's really 6 feet. Everyone's just lying. I guess maybe the guys that are 6'1". I guess maybe the guys that are 6'1" are 6 feet. Back at the men's quarters, this is where Bowden and Ramses find out that they're both talking to the same girl, same girl. Wait a minute, am I allowed to sing that song anymore? Then Bowden and Marissa go on another pod date. And I don't know who asked it, but one of them asked like, what advice would your parents give me about dating you? And I'm not gonna lie, I like this question. We get another pod date between Ashley A and Tyler. And these Tyler and Ashley A pod dates, they never miss. They're sublime, berserk, a mad ting, 10 out of 10, bruv. That's like a little crossover, It's Tyler's birthday, and she done got him some balloons, some freaking cheesecake, which if it was me, it would officially be over immediately. I know how I feel about cheesecake, I just don't understand it. How you can have a perfectly good cake and then say to yourself, throw some cheese on it. For me, just Carvel ice cream cake. Write that down. Anyway, Ashley wrote him a nice little note. She's crying, he's crying. Boy needed that release. He says, are you sitting down or standing up? She's like, well, I'm sitting down. He's like, you should stand up. This girl jumps up so fast she almost tore her Achilles tendon. This man gets on one knee and proposes. Of course she says yes. And her shoes are eating. And we got one of the best welcome back to the quarters. One thing about Marissa, she gonna be the first one to get that hug. But it's the men. Look at the joy on this dude's face. Like, when's the last time you've seen someone so happy? It's the black love joy for me. No notes. How this couple got no red flags? Here for it. Then we got a quick combo here between Leo and David. Leo asks David, you dated Hannah for a little bit, right? David's like, yeah, I did. And Leo's like, but she wasn't your number one though. David's like, yeah, she was. He's like, damn, what happened? Well, I don't know if I should be telling you this. No, it's fine. I'm rich. Well, Hannah's 5'9", and I'm 5'8". I told her I was fine with that. And she cut me off immediately. It's not funny. It's not funny, but it'll be important to note that for later. Okay. Then back to Brittany. I already forgot about her. She's having a meltdown because she's like, usually I could just seduce people with my eyes. I lost my superpower. I'm wondering if she knows what show she applied for. Then Leo and Brittany go on another pod date, and this conversation is so cringe. He's like, you're so sweet. You're so smart. I just don't know who I want between you or Hannah. Brittany, say what you will about her. She just wants to know where this guy stands. She tells him, like, why can't we just have a normal date where it's not just decision-making time? And for the first time in her life, that was a great call out. He tells her, I promise, in 5 minutes, I'm going to give you an answer. She's like, you fucking moron. Why don't you try sleeping on it? He's like, Brittany, you are so wise. And that's one of the reasons why you're up there on my list of people that I could potentially marry. He's like, how about this? Our date tonight is going to be way better. Actually, I'm going to surprise you. How does that sound? I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be great. She's like, all right, bro. Yeah, sure. I also have to address this random Hannah scene where she asks Alex like, hey, do you want to see me open this bottle with my mouth? And Alex is like, bro, you are so country. Hannah and Leo have a pod date where he talks about prenups. Hannah understands, as any non-rich, jobless 27-year-old should. He asks her, do you have a hard time talking about anything? She's like, not internally, more so externally. He's like, I beg your pardon? She's like, yeah, well, last year I lost 45 pounds. Leo's like, what? Leo says, if I walked out there and you were 500 pounds, I would still love you. Leo comes back in the men's quarters crip walking, and don't you worry, I already called the FBI. And some real crips to actually take a look at this, just in case. Nick D and Hannah have a pod date. Are we not tired of these two already? Anyway, she's like, do you miss football? Like, I feel like that was a big passion for you. Like, how does it feel to be like working a regular job? He's like, yes, I do miss football a lot. You know, I thought I'd be an athlete my whole life, but it's just a career change. She's like, are you okay financially? Because my other match is loaded. He's like, well, you know, starting out real estate, you don't automatically make 6 figures. Which, what did I say in my last video? Can we roll the footage? Also, for all these people that say they do real estate, or they're like realtors or brokers, like, can you at least show that you sold 1 property this year? Just 1. Anyway, then she tells him about losing the 45 pounds. He tells her, I don't care what you look like.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
She's like, well, I must also report that when I was younger, my mom used to lock up the snacks so I couldn't get to them. That's how much I wanted snacks. Okay, we're out of there, but unfortunately not for long. We've got more important things to handle though. We have the Tyler and Ashley A reveal. It's no notes. And this dude is dressing way better. He likes what he sees and she likes what she sees. And let me say this. After they meet up in general for Love is Blind, they meet up, they smooch, the guy gets on one knee, proposes, da-da-da-da. When they do that little sit-down scene, when they're just like, am I what you thought I would look like? No, what you thought I would look like? Are you feeling nervous? When they're doing those, even if the couple is strong, 9 times out of 10, that conversation is going to be cringy and it's going to be awkward. These two, Tyler and Ashley, probably had the best, like, post-proposal conversation. It was just flowing normal, and they was in love, and it was just one of the smoother ones, because that shit is always hard to watch, no matter what it is. So there's that. I guess that's a note. Nick and Hannah go on a pod date, and I must have sat on the remote and rewinded it, because they're still talking about looks. He tells her, I'm in love with you, and he certainly is not. She says the same thing back, get me out of here. Okay, now this is important. This is probably one of the oh my golly wally moments of the episode. And if y'all don't think it was interesting, then whatever. But I thought it was excellent. Remember how I told you how Leo promised Brittany a surprise date? Now we're there. Would you believe that the surprise was a blanket soaked in his cologne? Like, he left her a blanket. She already had a blanket in there, but this one got his cologne on it. That was the surprise. Like, imagine being rich and that was your surprise. Like, just put a briefcase with $100 bills in it or something. Like, really shocked me. This dude, Leo, is a national treasure. And when I say national treasure, I mean complete psychopath. But then, even funnier than that was Ringgate. Y'all remember Ringgate? This is when he asked Brittany, what kind of ring do you like? And she's like, bro, I'm only going to answer that if you only are asking me that. This freaking dweeb is like, well, I was planning to ask both of you or neither of you. Even Brittany, who I'm sure was sub 4 digits on the SAT, was like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, then this is an exact dramatization of what Leo said after. I can't, I'm rich. Something like that. Then he wants to guess the kind of ring that she wants. Can I guess? You want a big rock, but a simple design. You want it petite and dainty. She's like, I only wear gold jewelry. He's like, okay, square or oval? Oval. He's like, baby, see? I know you, and you know me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I could be watching the news. Then Leo goes on a pod date with Hannah. She's like, look, bro, let me stop you right there. Nick D's the one for me. Leo's face is priceless. Then we get a very much expected Leo crash out, and he's still clutching that pillow. This dude is having a full-on meltdown. He's like, what would you say if I actually be my wife right now? Is it too late? I'm rich. Is it too late? Boom! Episode 4. This one's called The Tables Have Turned. Unfortunately, we're still back with Leo just crash out and spill it into the next episode. He's like, I have another connection and I'm still fucking here. Give me an answer. Do I have a chance with you or not? Ugh. This is finally over. She gives him no answer, and this dude's still in there talking in tongues. Over to a pod date with Marissa and Bowden. She brings up the fact that he's military like 5 times per episode. She likes that he's more liberal leaning. Marissa then proceeds to go on a rant against Donald Trump for however many minutes. Does she remember that she told us that she dated a Trump supporter for 3 years? Anyway, back to the Hallmark Channel we go. We're in a pod with Tim and Alex. This man done gave her one of his sister's bracelets. At this point, he's transforming her into one of his sisters. She's crying, of course, and I don't know why he didn't just propose right there. He's probably waiting to get her name tatted on his neck next to his sister's. Then we got my buddies Monica and Steven. She's telling him how he reminds her of her dad. Oh shit, this dude is proposing. I almost said the N-word, and that would have been 2 fists inappropriate. Anyway, Steven gets on one knee and proposes. Monica says, I've been waiting 36 years for this. She says yes. More uplifting moments from the men's quarters, of course. Then we get another Ramses and Marissa pod date. She got 21 questions. Are you a handyman? Can you fix things? Do you like Adam Sandler or Will Ferrell? She hates the fact that he chose Will Ferrell over Adam Sandler. She says she likes Adam Sandler because she doesn't like dumb humor.
Please, Billy, please, no gibberish tonight, please, I beg you.
Sorry, Daddy.
Oh, okay. They do both agree that they don't like Elf, which I support wholeheartedly. Also, quick commercial break. Be careful with people who ask you to choose between 2 things just so they can drag you if you don't choose the one that they like, you know? But now she's kind of just doing too much. This is the whole scene with the Zodiac. She's like, do you know your sign? He's like, yeah, I'm a Cancer. And she's like, yeah, but do you know your moon and your rising? He's like, I think I'm a Cancer Leo. As soon as she heard that, Marissa was looking at Ramses like how Jack Dawson was looking at Rose when she said she wants him to draw her wearing only the heart of the ocean diamond. You guys never seen Titanic? Now, I don't know what a Cancer Leo is, and I don't know what I am. Hopefully a Gemini, but from the looks of it, I might have to start telling people I'm a Cancer Leo, because the results are through the roof. She comes back to tell the rest of the girls, he's a Cancer Leo. These girls don't know what the fuck she's talking about. That one comment alone got Bowden the fuck up out of here. The next pod date with Marissa and Bowden, she's like, let me stop you right there. I don't know if you've heard, but your boy Ramses is a Cancer Leo. Whatever this is, it's done. But no, in all seriousness, she's like, look, I have a better connection with Ramses. It's more romantic. I think we have a really good time together, and you're a great guy. Of course, Bowden takes it well. In the first place, he ain't really like her as much as Ramses did anyway. Like, Ramses would have been heartbroken if she chose him. But yeah, Bowden was like, all right, we good. Like, I just came for the snacks. Then for some reason, we have another pod date with Leo and Hannah. Don't ask me why she would agree to go on another date with this dude after he done crashed out in front of her. Like, it's too much mental trauma for me to be going through all this with you, but whatever, she agrees to do it. He's just trying to apologize for being a psychomaniac. But Hannah is over it. She's like, bro, I don't have feelings for you. It's me and Nick for the long haul. Leo's like, no, yeah, I love that for you guys. Nick's a great guy. And also, Brittany's a great girl. Hannah's like, yeah, whatever, like, I know. He's like, also, can you like low-key, put a word in for me and Brittany? Remember when you were in middle school and the key to your success was the girl you liked, her homegirl, putting you on? If you was cool with the homegirl and she put the word in, you was good. Like, because you were too scared to talk to the girl directly, obviously. But if you had the friend, you was good. But like, remember how that was middle school? Yeah. Like, he's a grown-up. and he's still doing it. This moron is like, you know what? I actually told the producers to cancel our date today. No, you didn't. I'm just worried about Brittany. Hannah's like, yeah, that's y'all business. He's like, business? I could pay you. Just joking, he didn't say that. But he was thinking it. Tim and Alex got another pod date. This is when you got the birds and the bee painting right there. What a nice little look. And she's wearing the bracelet. He wrote her some words. This letter is addressed to her father, and he's asking for her permission to ask for his daughter's hand in marriage. This brother got class. He gets down on one knee and proposes. She says yes, and I'll be remiss if I didn't mention that this dude is wearing bee socks. It's the little things. And what you thought? We was gonna get a proposal without some love from the men's quarters? Nah, not around here, player. Now it's time for the Monica and Steven reveal. She's about to see 3/5 of a Nubian king in all his glory. But before we get to the reveal, I like this quote from Monica. This is like right before the door is gonna open. She tells us, look, I done been there for all my friends. All their weddings, all their kids, the baptisms, the birthday parties. But it's hard to be 36 and single. It's finally my turn. Deep, you deserve, queen. Okay, over to the reveal. This dude officially looks like Blake Griffin. He brings her one of his t-shirts. Nice little gesture, much nicer than a stupid blanket soaked in cologne. I need this to work out. I just like these two. I want this to work out. And remember, Steven, he had the nice quote in the beginning. I had a hunch about this dude from the beginning. And this woman, Monica, is eating. Ain't not one thing about her giving 36. They do their 360s, and it is cheesy, but for some reason, I don't even hate it. What's happening to me? Quick little drop in with Marissa and the Cancer Leo boy. He has a note for her, basically reassuring her that his love is the real deal. We'll get back to them in a second. We're over to Nick D and Hannah. For some reason, this dude proposes to her. She says yes. This will not work. Mark my words, and I will play this clip back. And I will rewind it and play it again. Because I know. We all know it's not going to work. So just know that this part you're seeing right here, you're going to see it again. Now to the Tim and Alex reveal. She's getting a little self-conscious. She's like, look, I hope you like stick girls. Anyway, those doors open. He's like, I knew it. We're all home like, what did you know? He says out loud, I knew you was fine, which is nice. That's good. You want to hear that. That's nice. And it's a good reveal, but I'm afraid we got the oh my golly wally moment of the episode in two parts. The first part I know you caught. The second, I'm not so sure. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how juicy this nigga's lips look. Juicy was a crazy word. Okay, number one, OMGW. Can someone out there explain to me, what is this dog thing? Where did it come from? Why is it here? Like, why would you want to give your new fiance the immediate ick? And she's not even playing it cool. Like, you know, sometimes women will hate something that a guy does and just go with it. Like, oh, you're so silly, babe. She's telling him, don't do this. And he's still doing it. This is the same Hallmark dude? Okay, now number two. And I don't think I'm overshooting this when I say this could be history making for Love is Blind. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. And Netflix, you know the drill. I have to play this clip. Do not send your legal team my way. I'm not legal. I can't afford the fees. And this is one of those moments too. These videos could be kind of long. You could be multitasking. You could be cleaning your room. You could be folding some clothes. You could be eating some cereal. But if you are, I just need you to put that stuff down. Just for a second. And you can go right back to it, I promise. Roll the footage.
Okay. All right.
Please stop. It's so annoying.
Okay. What do we just witness here? Is there a chance that this dude Tim is walking out of there with the low-key stiffy? I'm gonna need you to play that again.
Okay. All right.
Please stop. It's so annoying.
Wait, no, because is he trying to tuck that thing? I mean, here's what happened. They were getting a little canoodly. He probably thought he had time to let that thing cool down. She gets up and starts walking away quickly, and he has to walk with her. So he's like, oh no. He tried to tuck that thing. Maybe I was seeing it wrong, but I rewinded it a couple times, and I think that was a legit stiffy. I mean, it's human nature. What are you gonna do? Man's got a healthy sexual appetite. What are you talking about? Shut up and move on. Okay, I'm moving on. Sheesh. I don't even know where to go from here. She was supposed to let that man cool down. That dog was in heat. Anyway, last and least, we're in the pods with Leo and Brittany. She wrote him a letter. She says that this is the most words she's ever used. I have no reason not to believe this woman. Boom, episode 5. This one's called What the Duck. Sadly, we have to go back to Leo and Brittany. She reads her words. He also has words for her, like this stupid ass poem. Like, this dude used the word virtue and didn't rhyme it with, I will never hurt you. Hello? He's literally proposing to her with these Dr. Seuss bars. And here's a direct quote of what I wrote down next. She says yes, and she will certainly regret it, especially when she sees what he looks like. Brittany says, thank you for proposing to me. Yeah, as if he bought her a donut. Now to this Nick D and Hannah reveal that no one asked for, but we're all gonna get. It happens. She says, he's very handsome. The whole thing is all cringe. He's like, oh, she's very beautiful. She tells us all she wanted was for her not to be able to put this dude in her pocket. And for some reason, all I kept thinking about was her fear of bugs and insects crawling in her pussy. And I hate that for me. She's going on about how in the pods, he said he was this football player that was medium build. Now she's never dated anyone shorter than her. And this short king has no idea. He's like, I like when you look at me. Brother, she's measuring you. This girl walks away from the reveal sadder than the Jamaicans and Cool Runnings walked away when they found out that their coach got banned from the sport for cheating. Okay, now Ramses is gonna propose to Marissa. He's going on about how some people have challenged and questioned his masculinity, which I could definitely see that happening. It's not a big deal, but I can see that happening. Anyway, he says some other nice stuff. She says some nice stuff. He gets on one knee and proposes. She says yes. Now to the reveal of the season. Oh, you thought that Nick D and Hannah reveal was the reveal of the season? Oh, no. You thought that Timothy literal erection was the reveal of the season? No. Let's get into this Leo and Brittany reveal. Yeah, yikes. She hates him already. And believe it or not, I'm not a body language expert. I'm a dude that makes YouTube videos. But I gotta break this down. Let's see what we can do here. The kiss was super awkward. Let's start there. Yeah, as you can see here, her lean back is at a 47-degree angle. That's not ideal. Then you can see here that she's pressing her hands into him as if to tell him, that's close enough. All right. Right here, I don't have to break this down as an expert. I'm just a dude with an updated prescription from LensCrafters. She is disgusted. Okay, this one is interesting. Let's look at how when he's putting the ring on, her hand is cuffed around his as if to say, do not do this. Someone needs to save her. She asks him, what do you love about me? This dude starts rambling some, what did he say? I love that you make me a better person. I love that you look dumb, but you're not. Like, ugh. Brittany looks this man in the face who just got down on one knee and put a ring on her hand and says, this is the most awkward moment of my life. Then she goes on about how she feels bad that she hasn't been able to say I love you back. Leo's like, yes, no, please, it's fine. And if you never feel that you want to say I love you back forever, I'm fine with that too. Leo, literally, what are you talking about? She's like, I feel like you're lying when you say you love me. Of course he's lying. This dude doesn't even like you. I don't know what he likes. Brittany tells us something isn't computing. I can't believe I'm engaged to a stranger. And go ahead and fire up that oh my golly Wally moment of the episode. Because just as we expected, these two do not go to Mexico. They go to Miami instead and still break off the engagement. Who could have predicted it? Oh, every single person watching this video? Yeah. But besides that, who else? Also, I was going to be like, who goes to Miami? Just take the free trip to Mexico from Netflix. But I forgot this dude is Scrooge McDuck. So, yeah. All right, good riddance. We're out of there. I mean, we'll see these idiots at the reunion. And that's assuming Leo doesn't want a close-up look at the Titanic. Okay, the last reveal of the season, we got Marissa and Ramses. I don't have a lot of notes here. This was a nice reveal. I'm very confident about this couple. Not 100%, but I'm very confident about this couple. A very nice reveal. They both look good. They both look like they work together. And look, no other notes. Now, we're off to Mexico. Okay, anyone that knows anything about Love is Blind, you know that the most important part of going to Mexico is the first pool party when all the couples can meet up, where all the guys can see all the girls. All the girls can see all the guys. So here's just a couple notes that I took of stuff that happened before that meetup. Okay, Tyler and Ashley A talk about abstinence. Boring. Nick and Hannah are still talking about looks. Expected. Takes off his shirt and shows his birthmark. That nigga is mad hairy. Tim and Alex are talking about her being blind. So, yeah, she couldn't see him on the whole walkthrough. Marissa and Rams is talking about how she never liked soft men until now. Very nice. Monica and Steven being cute. Garrett and Taylor being cute. Tyler and Ashley A vibe in the water. She's wearing a nightgown in there. She asks where he's going to get a tattoo of her. Y'all got some tattoos of your lovers? How do you feel about that? Put that in the comments. Okay, Tim and Alex are here, and I guess here we learned that she used to have a short temper. So we'll keep our eye on that. He starts the barking. I wrote, she will leave this nigga over this dog thing. Mark my fucking words. Nick and Hannah. Hannah asks, would you ever get my name tattooed on you? He says, fuck no. But enough about that. He's trying to see these other girls. He said that. Okay. Garrett sleeps with mouth tape. Jesus. Ramses and Marissa are smashing nonstop. And last but not least, Nick riding that stupid swan. Is it a duck? And that old lady jumping on and him racing in front of his new fiance. Read the freaking room, clown. Freaking Hannah's watching this like, and his feet are dangling from the damn duck. Short ass. Boom, episode 6. This one's called 6 Things I Hate About You. We start this episode off by learning that Ramses and Marissa are still smashing. Apparently they've been smashing for 800 hours. That doesn't make any sense. G and T are on the beach looking cute, but they are having some serious conversations before they go paddleboarding. Marissa and Ramses are still good. Like I said, they got some salsa lessons. You got Tyler and Ashley A doing some cooking together. I don't have to say this, but this is by far the strongest couple. Like, it's not even close. These fools are doing the lady and the tramp, and y'all think it's close? Steven and Monica are doing that acupuncture session. Don't forget when she puts the one in his head, she says it reminds her of his boners. I mean, wait till you get a load of Tim's acupuncture. Also, just to be clear, Monica is a supermodel. This is crazy. Okay, enough about all that. We finally get to the first party, the meetups. And for some reason, they're calling Garrett middle-class Chris Evans. I do not see that, but good on you. Nick D tells Hannah that even though they're having sex, he doesn't want to talk about them having sex because he has a brand back home to keep up. Like, but we heard that on camera. So like, what are you talking about? This dude's acting like he's on Too Hot to Handle and he doesn't want to fuck up the prize fund. Okay, now Hannah's telling Marissa about Swan or Duckgate. She's like, yeah, I'm looking at him and he's talking to that lady. And she's like, oh, looks like your girl's a jealous little bitch. Did she say that? Like, people always gotta hype shit up. You always, when anyone's telling you a story, how do we even know what to believe? Because people just be saying stuff. We also find out that Taylor and Garrett are the only couple that hasn't smashed. Then I forgot exactly what happened here, but I wrote down, I got my eye on Monica's feelings for Steve. I don't like it, but my flighty senses are tingling. Get it? Like spidey senses, but flighty senses? Yes. Nick D's telling the boys his side of the story of Duckgate. All I heard was she was like 60, but she was bad. Good luck. Then we find out that Hannah wrote a list of 10 things she hates about Nick that she just left around for him to see. I don't know if she was trying to hide it or was making sure that he saw it, but he saw it. Okay, then we get these scenes where the guys are like kind of rotating into this hot seat where they have to go and answer questions from all the girls. I think this is a cool idea. It's harmless. But some of these women are just so out of touch. Let me explain. I swear, they get a little champagne in them and all of a sudden everything's a love fest. For example, Tim comes over to sit down in the hot seat. Alex is immediately repulsed. He leaves out of there and they're like, oh my God, I can see how much you guys love each other. She's damn near ready to throw up the corn that they just ate on the street a couple hours earlier. The same thing happens with Monica and Steven. They're like, oh my God, he's so great. You guys are perfect for each other. Even Monica's like, yeah, he's a great dude. I've never seen anyone like him. He's the first dude that's like better than me. It's crazy. Okay, you know how like when someone's like upset with their job, their relationship, their family, they try to make you also feel crummy. Like if your coworker is complaining about the job, like, they're gonna assume that you're also complaining about it. Yeah, doesn't this place suck? Yeah, because misery loves company. But the same could be true at the other end of the spectrum, like when things are going good. They're like, oh my God, like if you're playing basketball, you drop 50 points, you're like, man, we had a fire game. No, bro, you dropped 50. Like, I didn't have a good game. So when these girls have a good connection with their partners, they're trying to, like, I don't know, project it onto the next girl. It's like, oh my God, I can tell that you're in love. Like, no, you're in love. And it's like you're missing out on real connection with your homegirls because you're just saying she's happy, so she feels a way where she doesn't feel happy, but she wanted to talk to you about it. She feels crazy now to just be like, actually, I'm a little nervous about this, which makes sense. This is fucking Love is Blind. You've known each other for 10 days. It's normal for shit not to be all flowy and cutie and lovey. Not everybody can be Tyler and Ashley A. You know? Okay, I'm off the soapbox. Then Nick finally confronts Hannah about this hate list. I just don't know what I would do if I just stumbled upon a list of 10 things my brand new fiance hated about me. In writing is crazy. And Nick, I'm not gonna lie, he's not acting crazy mad about it like how some people would, but did they dig that out the trash to go through it? Because he's breaking it down. He's like, oh, and then number 10 there says I'm Delulu. Does that mean I'm delusional? Ugh. Being Delulu about being Delulu is... We're almost done. Okay, now we've gotten to the end of the night, and this is obviously the best part. This is when you get the debrief, and the best couples know. You got to debrief. Marissa is all over it. She gets rammed. She's like, hurry up and brush your teeth, babe. We got to get into this tea. But of course, her debrief is kind of trash because she just thinks everyone's getting married. She's like, okay, obviously, we're good. Love Tyler and Ashley. Then, like every other couple, she's like, yeah, they're good, they're good. And Ramses is like, you think? Again, it goes back to my point. And I don't want to be like a gender thing here, but like, what is it about guys that are like, I'm not sure? Is it that the guys are being more open and being like, oh, I'm not really sure, having some reservations like in their quarters, and the women are not? What do you think it is? Over to the two last scenes of the episode, and they're cringy in their own way. First, with Steven and Monica. I guess she asked him a question, and he proceeded to deliver a 15-minute TED Talk in response to, I guess, said question. Monica literally just like puts her hand and is like, hey, look at Steven's face. Am I being a chatty patty again? Is it a chatty patty or a chatty Cathy? He's like, am I doing that? She goes, babe, I literally love you, but I can't get a word in. He's like, sorry. You know, us black people can talk. Shut up. She tells him, yeah, because I wanted to talk about the Tim and Alex thing at the end of the night. It just seemed a little weird. What do you think? He's like, can I talk now? Okay, and by default, this next scene is the oh my golly wally moment of the episode. And mostly because it came out of nowhere, not because of what it was. And I guess speaking of coming out of nowhere, Tim pulls up at Alex's room like he was out, like he was just outside, like he was just out, like they just had reunited. They said good morning to each other. She's looking at him like, where the hell you been? She says that she left the party and the energy was just off. It's not you. I just feel like I miss home. He tells her, I felt like I was shunned and that I was being disrespected. Whoa. She's like, okay, well, yes. When I took my hand to cover your mouth, that could definitely be seen as disrespectful, but I wanted you to hear me. I'm sorry. Am I hearing this correctly? You took your hand and put it over his mouth? I'm surprised that dog didn't bite it off. This is serious. He says that she challenged his character and called him out of his name. What? He says it's gonna take him a while to see her as his wife again. What the hell could she have done? She asks him, where does this leave us? He says, I'm not sure. The apology is not really giving what it needs to be, but she's like, hey, come here. And he's like, I'm here. And she's like, come closer. And he's like, I don't think I want to do that. She asks him, do you want to continue to sleep in separate rooms? What? Was there a whole episode that I missed? What's going on here? He says, it's hard for me to answer that right now. She's like, I think we can fix this. Boom, and that's episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we get some previews. I don't know if the previews were giving me what I needed it to give, but they were giving something. We're not going to get too much into that. We'll talk about that next week when I break down episodes 7, 8, and 9. Woo-wee! Boy, what a video. If you're still here watching at this moment, just know that I have made so many mistakes in this recording process that if you're still here, I don't beg. I need you to hit that like button. And if you don't subscribe, just subscribe. If you enjoyed the ride. I mean, if you still, this long ass video, if you're still at the end, you must have enjoyed some of it. So hit that subscribe and hit that like. I should have did my little ending thing. As always, thanks for checking out Tate's Take. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, so many things to talk about. We could do the thing. Rank the couples in order of like the strongest to like the least strong. Number one, everybody got the same number one. It's Tyler and Ashley. That's easy. But the rest, yeah, let's get into it. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. Hey. Endless mistakes. Rookie mistakes. Anyway, this season, I'm into it. You know, it's always interesting because it's like, are we going to care about these new people? We get so attached to the last seasons and all that, but I'm into this. I'm definitely into this. Favorite, Tyler and Ashley, of course. Love Taylor. Garrett is fine. Love Monica. Excellent. I got to see what's going on with Tim and Alex. If I was Alex and this dude was just barking his ass off, I mean, I would call him out of his name too. That's what I would do. Man, need a snack. But enough about that. This is a YouTube video about a reality dating show. I'm not here to get political, but Tate's Take does officially endorse Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. The endorsement that she's been waiting for. A lot of people thought it was Taylor. It wasn't Taylor. Tate's Take. Tay and Tate's Take. That was bad.